All right, guys. So today I have some bragging rights. I'm going to brag a little bit, solely because of what I said back in August. If you guys actually check the Discord, there was a message. I think it was Bobby or somebody asked me a question. How do I feel? And I said, well, I don't really feel anything right now. Whatever decision I make, I will make it after the second week of October. I've mentioned this, and I also mentioned that regardless what the chart shows, the 29,946 or whatever you can see, right? That was the number that I was looking at, and I said that's a level, regardless what people say. We drew that line like 2 years ago, and we said that's a level that we have to go beyond, right? And we will face resistance around that level. You can see clearly on the chart where the current resistance zone, according to the chart, is around the 30,000 something, 31,000 something, right? But we do have this resistance level, and this is exactly where we got rejected from today. So earlier on today, we saw a massive pump. Of course, this pump was mostly based on FOMO and based on news. Now, as a trader or as somebody who wants to buy, at the right time, do whatever, you don't do it based on news. You do it before the news or you do it after the news, right? Because a lot of the time, people's sentiment easily change, and they would jump on the boat. It's like, all right, we're about to miss the boat, right? We just jumped from 27k all the way to 30k. Boom, this was it. Technically, on a daily chart, yes, this was it. But when you start looking at higher time frames, not so good, not so good. Like, I mean, we are currently in a battle. If you look at the monthly candles, we are currently in the middle of a battle. We are really haven't decided what direction we want to go. So based on previous month's candle and based on the current candle we have, this is clearly giving us an indication that we are undecided, right? Whether we want to move or not. Now, I can tell you this much. I don't know what's going to happen, whether we're going to go to 30k, beat that, and then go to 31k, and then off to the moon, right? What I can say for sure is that we will be, if we don't close this month on a positive note, that means on a higher candle than the previous month, which means we only have 2 weeks left, then you can expect this market to carry on probably like this until February, possibly by the middle of February, if not the end of February. So, let's just expect those things, right? I'm not being negative or anything. I'm super bullish. But being bullish doesn't really mean that I'm going to jump in at the right time. It also means you need to have a strategy, you need to have a goal, you need to have a plan. And the plan that I clearly stated on Discord, and I'm sure it's there in August, I said that I'm going to make a decision at the second week of October based on the candle patterns. And I said, look, this is what's going to happen. So it's kind of a little prediction, but it wasn't. But I do have the bragging rights because right now, we did go to that 29,946 above level. That's a line that was manually drawn. You can see the white line on the screen right now. That was manually drawn, and that was drawn, close to, I believe, 2 years ago, right? And it seems like that level has been a very important level for us. Of course, that line will change at some stage. It doesn't stay there forever. But just for the meantime, immediate meantime, it is a very important, significant level. And of course, I've mentioned this before as well, guys. Look, if we can push beyond the $35,000 level, right? In fact, our candle state 37. So if we can push between the $35 to $37 level, then, this is it. We might have a good chance of going parabola. Which would be a nice thing to see, and then the market could easily lead towards a bull market. So I'm not saying it's going to be a full-on 150k BTC coming tomorrow. What I'm saying is it could be an indication that the market is bullish enough for it to start moving. Now, the other thing you have to notice is the news wise. So we had some good news and we had some bad news and probably some rumors as well, right? So one of the bad news is apparently in China, I'm not sure which city, but apparently they're doing a bank run. Now, we know Chinese economy has been struggling a little bit, especially with their current money system, the fiat system. They've been struggling a little bit. It's to do with the US trade wars, basically, with China. So they got shafted quite a bit. And then, of course, a lot of their companies went bankrupt and whatnot and this and that. So a lot of people are kind of panicking, like what do we do, so they had to do a bank run. Now if they can't do a bank run, then the other option they got is to go into crypto, hence why I believe that this pump could be Asia led, like China led. But then we do have some good news, which means some apparently a BTC ETF has been approved by the SEC for whatever company. Again, when I looked at that particular information when it came, I didn't bother going and checking the thing. I'm going to treat it as a rumor. The reason is because that particular company that got it, I forgot which it was, what the name was, but that company who got it is insignificant. When we see companies that are worth trillions of dollars and they didn't get the ETF, we better be asking questions. Why would a insignificant company with very little money involved, why would they get it, right? So, I mean, this is just my conspiracy theory hat, my tinfoil hat on, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm like, why would a very small, unknown company get it, and the big boys, the big dons out there, right? The $1 trillion companies, the $9 trillion company, the $4.5 trillion company, why didn't they get it? Because they are more important, right? So that's how I'm just looking at this. I'm just trying to kind of mathematically do some calculations and say, look, something needs to add up. Currently it doesn't. So is it true or is it not? I don't know. And if this news just happens to be a coincidence on the very same day where China is doing a bank run, what could it be? Could it be a coincidence? So that's what I'm looking at anyway. But I just wanted to show you the chart, guys, and show you, like, how it's played out and how I feel right now. Of course, I'm looking at the weekly. This is the weekly, right? And the weekly stochastic RSI is genuinely looking very good. I'm not going to be complaining. So you can see how this is looking. Yes, it looks like as if it wants to turn, but it also looks like it wants to go positive. And I'm looking at the positive side of things because I'm just a positive guy. Right. Of course, when you look at the monthly, things change a little bit. On the monthly, we can see that we are struggling a little bit, and this is what I was going to show you on the chart as well. So on the monthly, you can see that we are currently struggling a little bit because previous month candle you can see where we were below. Yes, we're bullish. We need to close this particular candle above. So even if we close at today's price where we are right now, the 28,106, whatever, as long as we close above the previous candle, we are bullish, guys. So that could easily turn the market, and then we can start making new candles to go up. And we can do this for another 4 or 5 months, right? So this is what you have to understand. On the plus side, the next 3 months, right? So November, December, January, whatever we're going to call it, right? Could easily be positive based on this one candle, right? Or if the candle doesn't have a significant volume or weight to it, then it could be the reverse, means that the next 3 months could be a bad 3 months. So just keep that on mind and then carry on. But we, of course, I mean, we've talked about buying below the 20K. And this is like, I think last year we talked about, a couple of years now we've talked about it. But the point is if you're still holding coins that you've bought below the 20K, then you're fine, right? Ultimately, none of this matters. This ups and downs doesn't matter. The only time we need to make sure our stop loss or whatever is there is set up is if we go below the 20K again, right? That's all it is. So other than that, hodl strong. This is not a financial advice, but just wanted to kind of just show you guys, like, look guys, this is what's going on, and then what the outcome is or the probabilities are and what we should expect, right? Not what just be bullish because everybody else is bullish, or just be bearish because everybody else is bearish, or follow the news too much, because none of this news or what's happening right now in the candles, in the charts, right? None of this happened when we talked about the candle patterns, right? When we talked about, guys, look, this line is significant, this is significant. When we said all of these things, this particular area, this zone didn't exist. Remember, we said it in August. So if we said this in August, September month is a bloody month. We talked about it in August. We said we're going to look at it in the middle of October. That means none of this candles existed, and we predicted it and we said what's going to happen. But again, it's not a prediction, guys. It's just how the patterns play out. Okay, because there's always, you have to look at the bigger picture, and that's what it was. So I've been looking at the bigger picture for a very long time, and of course, I stick to my guns as much as I can. And you can see I have a yellow line around the 37,655. That's my next target. If we can go above the 30K, literally just call it 30K. I've got it on the 29 something, but it's 30K. Then you can see we can move on to the next part. And of course, you can go onto any of my videos. You can see that this particular area was marked up good few years back, right? Almost 2 years ago, if not longer. This zone was marked up, and that's
pretty much exactly where we are right now. We need to defeat this. This is a very, very important level. We need to beat this. We need to go above, and then the magic will happen. So yes, the upper level currently sitting around where is it, it's about approximately 33,000 is also a significant level, but not too much. That's only significant because of what happened recently. You can see we've technically had a double bottom, right? Where, let me just draw it for you, and that will make sense to you. If I could find my brush. There's my brush. So this was the double bottom that we saw, right? So we got one there, one there. So that's all I'm looking at. Nothing too crazy. If we can go above this threshold here, then yeah, Bob's your uncle. We're moving up, and this trajectory is also very good as well. It's a very positive trajectory, so I'm not complaining. All right, I'm not complaining. So I just wanted to get you guys to understand and know what's about to happen. But other than that, adios, my amigos. I'll see you on another one very soon. I hope this was informative. Please leave your feedback in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Adios.